What's up, fellow polymaths? In this video of the Java Fundamentals tutorial, we'll be going over functional interfaces. Functional interfaces are an interface that contains exactly one abstract method. Functional interfaces can have any number of default or static methods, but can contain only one abstract method. They can also declare methods of the object class. Functional interfaces were introduced in Java 8 and are another way to achieve functional programming. They are part of the java.util function package. A functional interface can extend another interface only when it does not contain an abstract method. Java has predefined functional interfaces to deal with the functional programming by using the lambda and method references in the java.util.function package. You can also define your own custom interfaces. And some examples include by consumer, the function interface, and many more. So now that we briefly went over functional interfaces, let's go into the code and try them out. All right, here we're in the main class, and what we're going to do is we're going to create an interface that contains only an abstract method. So let's create an interface right now. All right, so I created an interface called ball, and this is similar to the ball interface that I created in the previous tutorial. So what we're going to do is create an abstract method called throw ball. All right, so I created an abstract method called throw ball. And another thing I did is that I added an annotation called functional interface, and this lets the compiler know that this specific interface is a functional interface. So now that we've created the functional interface, let's go to the main class and implement that interface. All right, so I'm here in the main class, and I'm going to be implementing that ball interface, as well as overriding that throw ball method that we created in that ball interface. All right, so I've overridden that throw ball method from the functional interface. So now that I've done that, let's go into the main method and create an object to call that method and output the statement. All right, so I create an object derived from the main class, and I'm calling that throw ball method. So let's run the code and see what happens. All right, so we got a result. I threw a ball 1,000 miles away. Of course, that's impossible, but we're not here to be practical. Anyways, that's a quick example of functional interfaces. Another thing we can do is to have the functional interface extend another interface. All right, so what I'm going to do is create another interface, and this interface is going to have a default method, and that will allow for the ball interface to extend that other interface, because with the functional interface, we can only extend another interface if the other interface doesn't contain any abstract methods. All right, so I create an interface called player, and what we're going to do is have a default method in this interface. And default methods, as you know, are not abstract, so that'll allow us to have that ball interface extend this player interface. All right, so we create our default method in this interface. So now we can have that ball interface extend this player interface. All right, so we've extended the player interface to the ball interface. So now let's go to the main class and call that method that was in the player interface. All right, so we're calling that sprint method now that was in the player interface. So now let's run the code and see what happens. All right, so we got our expected result, throwing the ball and as well as sprinting. So those are some quick examples of functional interfaces. Of course, there's a bit more to functional interfaces as well, but just try it out and play with it on your own, and I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. All right, here's our assignment for this topic. Number 1, how many abstract methods can a functional interface have? Number 2, what is the condition that allows a functional interface to extend another interface? If this video was of any value to you, then please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.